So today we will be talking about metamorphic rocks, and you will be listening to this video in class, so feel free to pause, fill in the answers on the worksheet, take notes, and work at your own pace. Please do not feel the need to rush ahead. Take your time, and you can also finish this worksheet for homework. So take your time in class today, ask me questions, and all of that good stuff. So first of all, what does metamorphosis mean? Well, it means change. Much like a caterpillar changing into a butterfly, that is a type of metamorphism. So any rock that has been changed by heat and pressure and did not melt is a metamorphic rock. So granite changing into gneiss is a type of metamorphic transformation of rock. So how does this happen? Because you just learned that igneous rocks form through the melting and recrystallization of magma. So how are metamorphic rocks different from igneous rocks? And where can you get enough heat and pressure to change a pre-existing rock? So in order to investigate that, we need to look at where magma is located and what type of metamorphic rocks form at specific locations in relation to magma. So if magma has a direct contact with a type of a rock and yet it doesn't melt it, it still can intrude and cause the rock to change and crystallize, but it doesn't melt. It just changes it with the contact thermal metamorphism right here. So contact metamorphism and thermal metamorphism are caused by the direct contact of magma with the rock that causes the rocks to change. Then you can also have metamorphic rocks form under high pressure. So you have all of these layers and layers of rocks on top of each other and causes the rocks to kind of collapse and change due to the high pressure. So there's enough heat and there's enough pressure in the regional metamorphism to cause those rocks to change. And so that's known as regional or dynamic metamorphism. It doesn't come into contact with magma, but there is enough pressure and heat to cause it to change. Okay, so pretty much what I was saying, dynamic metamorphism is when the entire region experiences a crunch or squeezing pressure, such as mountain building, due to tectonic or regional compression. So tectonic just means the movement of the different plates, and so those type of movements cause enormous amounts of pressure and heat to build up due to the friction of the tectonic plates or the mountain building. And it causes the recrystallization of the existing rock without melting. Thermal metamorphism is when the rocks come into contact with magma in high heat and the rock actually bakes and recrystallizes. Again, it does not melt. If it melted and then recrystallized, it would be considered an igneous rock. So the main difference here is that the metamorphic rocks undergo just enough heat to bake, but not enough to melt. Hydrothermal solutions can also cause metamorphic rocks to form. We talked about hydrothermal solutions being hot water solutions where the ionic bonds form. So the rocks change from an ionic level, so from their molecular level. Due to the different types of formation, we have different types of rocks. So the texture is different. In foliated metamorphic rocks, the mineral grains have been flattened into parallel bands or stripes. So you can see those different layers there. And so they've kind of been pushed together, and you can see the layering of the different mineral grains. So they're very visible, and this is foliated. Non-foliated is there's no visible stripes or banding in the metamorphic rock. So where would I find foliated versus non-foliated rock? Well, dynamic results, so the crunching and squeezing in dynamic regional metamorphism is what results in a foliated rock. And again, the foliated rock is where we can see the bands and the stripes. Non-foliated rock forms from thermal regions, so contact metamorphism, where the magma is actually going into the rock and just enough heat to bake it. That results in a non-foliated rock. So they all recrystallize, and you cannot really see the different mineral grains. They're recrystallized within the rock. And again, that happens with hydrothermal solutions as well. Any type of thermal metamorphism, whether it's hydrothermal or contact metamorphism, will give you a non-foliated rock. And that concludes our lesson on the different types of rocks.